It's a lot of quality. Why you getting out of, bitch? I zoom. Ay, so much I can gain, but there's so much more I can.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, man. Now, this is a back-to-back video right here. Same drip. I'm not even gonna fake it. But this video is gonna be very, very short. It's gonna be why I hate fucking Mylar bags. The flashy, you know, dripped out bags with the bullshit in it. Like, nah. But it's not to say I don't appreciate a really, really good bag. Like I said in the last video, I look at the bag if the gas is good. Like if the flour is good and I smoke, I'm in the middle of smoking that shit how you would if you ate a bag of chips that you never had before and them bitches are smacking and you pick up the bag like what they put in this junk? What the fuck is the ingredients in here? Yeah, that's pretty much, you know, how I look at it. If I smoke some fire, I'm picking that bag up like, oh yeah, this bag is sweet. I like this. Even if it's some bullshit, you can like the bag a little bit more. But somebody coming to the point where the bag is the all and be all, or they looking at the bag and they not paying attention to the flour. Like, me personally, as a grower, I wouldn't even put my shit in no bag if I ain't think it was bag. Whereas I don't even like the idea of it, but I understand that it'll help you in the benefits of, you know, charging certain things, or, you know, just branding, like people remembering your name, people remembering who you are. Like that's more so what it plays into, obviously. But a lot of companies out here put that bag shit and put the marketing before the flour, before the quality. That's because a lot of people are actually yield driven more than they are fucking quality driven. Like, and that is what probably, if I can put a number on it, probably roughly like 75% of the industry is, like black market and legal included. Black market is probably like 90%, like 90%. You got your guys like over in Texas or down south or different places, and over East Coast, like that just puts the bullshit light depths, and because they don't even know what light depths are. Like a lot of people don't know what the fuck that is. Like you don't know. You don't know the difference between indoor, outdoor, and greenhouse. Like you don't know. So you get the greenhouse shit, and they like, oh yeah, this is that Gary Payton, right? And like, all right. He said it was Gary Payton, but this shit don't look like the shit I saw on Instagram. And that's what happens a lot, you know, because when it comes to branding and it comes to, you know, actually growing, it's hard to really sit there and retain a phenotype amongst many, many different growers. Like, it's very hard because not everybody has the same passion. Not everybody is as good as one another, or not everybody puts as much hard work into their garden. Like, it's an inevitable fact amongst, you know, many different people. So when you have many different people growing a specific strain, calling it that exact strain, it just creates a place of, for instance, if you had Rolls-Royce making their Rolls Royces, and then you had Nissan making their model of the Rolls Royce, and then you had Mitsubishi making their model of the Rolls Royce, and you got Toyota making their model of the Rolls Royce. It kind of like, it comes into that. Like, at the end of the day, we understand the Rolls Royce and German engineering is what they are because of the things that they have shown and the type of quality cars that they present, and the different, you know, styles of, you know, making the cars and the different metals that they use or what have you. Like, I'm not even gonna act like I'm super knowledgeable, but I do know that they do a lot of specific things within German engineering, and I know German engineering is reputable across the fucking world as far as their quality of automobiles. So if you put that in the same perspective as cannabis, and you got a lot of people out here growing different, you know, phenotypes, because a phenotype is the environment and the state in which a specific genotype, which is, you know, say for instance a kid, is grown or grown up in, pretty much. Like your brother and sister growing up at your mom and your dad's house in different places. Like you're gonna be a little different, you are required to be a little different in the first place. So it plays into that, and genetics aren't very, you know, locked in when it comes to scientists and facts and stuff, 1000%, like a lot of things within, you know, the world. So it's hard to really say within cannabis if it's exactly like humans or if it's different. Like there's a lot of things that are speculations but not 100% fact, because at the end of the day, when it comes to plants and botany and a lot of different vegetative things and a lot of things within the universe, we know why things go from point A to point C, but we don't know what happens at point B. We don't know a lot of the details of why things are doing the things that they do. We just know that things are doing certain things, you know? and that plays a huge factor into cannabis. And there's a lot more information that comes out every day. Like, I'm learning every day, like literally within my own garden and from other scientists, researchers. Like, it's so much information that comes out every day for you to be able to learn new things about cannabis. But there is so much when it comes to, like, for instance, fungus and how fungus works within, you know, the growth of certain things. Like, we know certain details, but the in-depth thing, man, that's what I love. That's what I love about the world, like things that we don't know. Like, it's so much shit we don't know. And I think that's the beautiful thing about the earth. But getting back to the point of the quality control versus the yield-driven companies, when you're talking about having those different strains, you have to do your due diligence as far as trying to achieve the level in which the strain or the genetic is known to have. For instance, back to some strain a lot of people know, Gary Payton, created by Powers Up. You know, I know for a fact, like, when he created it, he grew the strain, it was at a certain level, you know, and I'm sure that's why Burner and other people that were into the branding and marketing goals of that strain have just done such an amazing job. But get to a place, like I said before, when you're trying to spread a brand or a flower amongst many people, many different people across the country, where you can't transport it from a certain place to another place, it's kind of hard to keep that quality, you know, going across the board. So that's why I feel like it should be I don't know, it would be weird though to see millions of strains versus, you know, thousands or a few 100,000 or, you know, what have you. Because at the end of the day, that would entail people to rename shit every time. But at the end of the day, it's really how it should be. Because that goes back into the whole exotic thing. Like, imagine if that's how it was within the cannabis community, that only people that grew Gary Payton, for instance, how calculated it was with the Mac, only people that grew it are either himself or people that he can trust to grow it to either the standard that he grew it at or very, very, very close to it, you know. So when you give it to a place of, you got these big facilities or just random people being able to get their hands on these genetics, and they're not all putting the time or effort or you know, skill into it, just makes it into a different thing, man. And then you have it marketed as the same, and it just creates a weird type of experience, because it's like cannabis is very unique amongst industries and, you know, businesses as far as products or consumable products go. But I don't know, it doesn't really have any standing in the sense of legality in the world viewpoint to be that way. Like, why can't we apply the same knowledge that we would to any other thing amongst this earth to cannabis? It's like, it's so, but it's new. It's not a lot of research. It's not really, more so federal research, because there's other countries that are years and years and years ahead of us as far as cannabis knowledge. As for instance, Jerusalem, like, they study a lot of shit. Like, they study a lot of shit that other countries won't even dare to do. Like, they have a lot of freedom amongst their scientists and things of that nature, and we get a lot of our knowledge from those people. For instance, if I'm not mistaken, the original scientist who noted the difference between, like, actually noted the specifics of the sexes of cannabis plants and how to avoid certain things amongst, you know, having them in the same grow room, ergo having a mom plant and a male plant together, and things that, like, every grower in the world uses as a staple of knowledge today. I believe those type of researches were practiced in Jerusalem and were founded in Jerusalem, if I'm not mistaken. You can quote me, but pretty much to say that we as a people, as a country, are very misled with the information that we are receiving. And when it comes to cannabis, just look at it for what it is. Like, it's experimental in a sense. Like, you have to experience, you know, something from it to make a understanding, you know, review. Like, and that's literally what it is. Like, if you're sitting here feeling a certain thing and you have a certain understanding of what it is that you feel from that product, and then someone else is telling you something different and you're using as what they're telling you, like, it's just dumb to me. Like, you experience, you have your own viewpoint, so why not apply it? Like, that literally what is, you know, the same type of scenario that a lot of people would do in any other field or any other situation. You go to the grocery store, you would do that in the same situation there, but they don't apply it to cannabis. It's just weird. And we is the same shit. Like, it's literally, If you look at it as any other plant or any other herb, like it's the same shit. Like the same type of mindset should be taken with it. Literally. Like, but at the end of the day, if you want to, you can keep going out there buying these pretty ass Mylar bags, man, and neglecting the fact of the cannabis, or paying crazy ass prices just because of the bag. Like, that's a lot of times what it is, like the marketing of it. And they market these bags and shit into certain places, and the cannabis itself isn't really worth that. Like, as a person, you ain't gotta be too knowledgeable to understand like what your end goal is and what your your result was. Like, and compare it and be like, all right, I was trying to get to this point, I got to this point. My expectations was paying for this point, and I got to this point, so it's obviously less. Simple knowledge, and that's how it plays. But a lot of people, buy bags instead of the cannabis, and they don't buy, the flower. They literally buy bags, or they buy the fucking jars. Like, in the bags, I literally, if you really understood about quality cannabis, the bags are the reason that your terpenes are fucking evaporated by the time that it gets to you, because of those Mylar bags. When people that take the time to put, humidity control packs into their jars and stuff, shit like that, I really, really appreciate that. Because, like, when you're talking about mass production of cannabis, it's hard to really keep the shit fresh, for real. We don't really know 100% the life shelf of cannabis. We just have, speculations around when, like, that certain things start to change because of certain companies that take, that do their due diligence to find out themselves. But at the end of the day, with that being said, a lot of people don't understand, or don't even know, or don't even care to know different preservation methods. They just trying to get you a nice, pretty package like they would any other product, and then they expect you to not look at it as any other product. They just look at it as something that they want you to look at it as. Like, hey, this is what this is. Fuck what you experience. This is what it is. This is what it does to you. And that's not how it works. It's just not how it works. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this one up. It's supposed to be shorter than this, but it can't really be short when it comes to stuff like this, man, because there's so much to say. But anyway, like I always say at the end of these videos, man, y'all have a high-ass day, and do what the fuck you want to do, man. Do what the fuck you want to do. Just don't marginalize yourself. Experience what's actually in front of you, and, don't just listen to what everybody else is saying, because you're your own person. Shit might affect you differently than it might affect somebody else. So, just take that in life and run with it. Anyway, y'all have a high-ass day.
She just ran up on me like I hit the lotto, yeah. 12 a.m. I'm hit, I got an empty bottle. I just put up a hunch, I'm about to hit